There are 18 cues on the Ignite firing system, and we just so happen to have 18 500-gram cakes. And every single one of these 500-gram cakes is going to be lit off before the end of the video. And I got all these fireworks for less than $1,000. We're gonna set them all off using the Ignite firing system. So this is kind of an annual video that I do featuring a ton of 500-gram cakes that we get for less than $1,000, and we hook them all up to the Ignite firing system and set them off for you guys. Now this is a collection of 500-gram cakes that I ordered from fireworks.us. You guys may remember in a previous video where I did a full breakdown on everything I ordered from that website. We got canister shells, ball shells, 500-gram, 200-gram, you name it, it's in that video. Be sure to check it out. Now this may be the last of what I have from Pyro's Pride Fireworks brand, but I'd like to think we saved the best for last. So we originally lit off all these 500-gram cakes one at a time for a demo, but in this video we're going to attempt to make a firework display with all the remaining 500-gram cakes. And now I'm going to give you guys the rundown on everything we're going to be lighting off tonight. So starting over here, we've got Boss Man. It's a nice 500-gram angled cake, and just so you guys know, these are all 500-gram cakes. There's not a single 200-gram in the lineup. Right underneath that, we've got Epic. This is 49 shots, and beneath that, we've got Juggernaut, 38 shots. Then we've got the 100% swag here. This is a 16-shotter. Underneath that, we've got 36-shot Assassin. Then we got my favorite, Brap. This is 20 shots. Right here, we got Savage, and that one is a 24-shotter. Moving back up to the top, we got a nice Willow Eruption cake right here. This is some of the sickest willows I've ever seen. 24 shots. Underneath that, we got Nuclear Blast, a 20-shot cake. And right here, we've got the ammo crate. Now, this is actually a plastic firework, so I'm gonna remove the two on the top and show you guys these tubes, because it's really irregular for fireworks to be packaged in plastic. So take a look at that. This is a plastic 500-gram cake, 20 shots, ammo crate. Right underneath that, we got a firework straight out of the Joe Dirt movie. This is Screamin' Mimi, 16 shots. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but every single one of these fireworks is by Pyro's Pride brand. This next one here is called Wicked Cool, 16 shots. Below that, we got Neon Storm, unknown amount of shots in that one. Then we got the Thunder Beast here, again, unknown amount of shots. Actually, that's a lie, it's right here, 16 shots. Couldn't find the shot count on Neon Storm, but it doesn't matter, you're gonna see it tonight. Right up here, we're going back to like angled shots here. So this is top notch, and you get 18 shots in that bad boy. Underneath that, we got Wildfire here. This is a 30-shot cake. I love the label on here. Look at all that fire, and then you even got a firefighter right there holding an axe. This is also part of their heavy hitter collection, so this should be a loud one. Beneath that, we've got the Patriot. This is the big old hamburger of a cake. That's what I called it in the original video, and that's what we're gonna call it in this one. 105 shots on that bad boy. And last but definitely not least, this was my favorite cake in the lineup from the last video, 51 shots, God of War. Now somehow I have to put together a firework display based on the cakes I just showed you using my phone and the Ignite firing system. That is correct, we're not using a remote. Our phone is the remote, so it's pretty cool. We'll show you more about that later. So I heard this rumor about Ignite firing systems. I don't know if it's true or not. The thing is tested up to 300 feet range. So anything beyond 300 feet, technically it should be out of range, but I did hear a rumor that this thing can actually go up to 1,000 feet or more if you put the Ignite on a bucket. So you see those two little red dots over there? Well, that's about 500, maybe 600 feet away. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook something up to the Ignite firing system, and we're gonna get way back 1,000 feet, and we're gonna see if we can set that off using our phone. So I hope you guys can see this. I've got the app open, and we're showing continuity on Q1, but we are definitely out of range. So let's go ahead and see if the rumors are true. Well, the Ignite firing system held up to the test. We are walking over here right now, and yeah, I cannot believe that worked. I definitely would not rely on an out-of-range fireworks show to fire, but just for fun, you could totally do something like that. Well, that was certainly a fun little range test, and now that we've done that, we got to get to work on this show. So I'm going to go ahead and set up all these 500-gram cakes in the way that I want to see them shot off during this firework display. And keep in mind, we're going to have like an opener, a body of the show, and a finale. I'm going to somehow put them all together to make a show for you guys, and we're going to shoot them all off with this. All right, so I know it's a mess, but that's because we are using 20-foot igniters. Did I have to do that? Probably not, but I just have so many of these things that I had to use them. So I saved the last cake here in our finale to show you guys how you actually hook up the igniters to the fireworks. But before I do that, you actually have two options here. So you can go with the MJG wire like this, where it has a shroud on the end, and you poke the cake with a brass awl and put that right into the firework. This way it will give you instant ignition. So it comes in handy if you're actually scripting your show. Now we're gonna be doing these manual fire mode, but I am gonna show you something cool you can do on the Ignite app before we shoot them off. Now with these, they're like a Talon, and so I wanna get you guys an up close shot of this. So this thing actually clips right onto the fuse, but if you do this, you have to account for about 2 to 3 seconds of fuse burn time, depending on where you clip this onto the actual fuse. So on a 500-gram cake, you could probably peel that fuse all the way down to the bottom, clip this on, and you'll get about a half a second ignition, which you could script a show that way. But if you're doing these like Pyro Musical or really want to script a show and have all the effects go at the exact time that you want, you definitely want to get these. So I wanted to save this last cake here to show you guys. All I do here is I open it up and you can see there's like a little rubber band. Sometimes you just have to move that down. But there's a tiny piece of metal in there, and you want to line up the fuse with the metal and drop it. Now normally you'd be going closer down to the bottom if you want to get these things timed out right, but I don't think it's an issue. I'm pretty good at timing these, and I've done shows like this for 3 years now, so I'd like to think I have a good handle on it with all that experience. Now what we're going to do is open up the app and show you some cool things you can do with your fireworks show. So before we do anything, let's go ahead and turn the module on, and we're just going to test for continuity here. And so I might have to put this a little closer to the screen, but as you can see, we've got the green module. It's receiving module information, so you just wait a couple of seconds and it shows up right here, and I'm just gonna run through and make sure that all 18 are green, and it looks like they are. So now I just wanna show you guys a cool feature you can do while you're here in free shoot. So if we click on Q1, you click on that pencil icon, and what you do is you can come up here to create, and we're gonna go ahead and enter the name of our first firework going off in the show, which is going to be the Patriot. That's part of my opener. And you can see I typed it right there. Then we'll just push create, and you'll see on Q1 it says the Patriot. Now, because I'm doing an opener, a body segment, and a finale, I'm gonna have to add something to the Patriot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back in and re-edit this thing, and you'll see the update. So we're gonna do 2 hit on here because we're hitting this with another cake for the opener. And then we'll just update that, close out of here, and now you can see the Patriot 2 hit. So this is gonna fire with Q2. So what I'm gonna do now, since we're losing daylight fast, is I'm gonna go through, name all these cakes, and I will give you guys a walkthrough of how I designed this show once I'm done with that. So as you can see, I have everything named now. And so this is the part where I'm gonna get you guys a walkthrough of everything going off. So starting with Q1 is obviously a double hit. And just to know that, I put 2 hit right there. So 1 and 2 I'm gonna be firing at the same time. This is the Patriot and Willow Eruption. Then we come into Q3, which is Nuclear Blast, then Neon Storm after that. So that would be Q4. I'm getting ahead of myself. Q5 is Ammo Crate. Q6 is Wicked Cool right there. Q7 is Boss Man. On Q8, we've got Top Notch. Q9 is gonna be Wildfire, and then we come into our body of the show segment. So, you know, after these cakes, they're kind of going one at a time. We wanna pick up the pace a little bit. So we have another double hit right here in the middle of the show with 100% Swag and Assassin. These two are gonna fire at the same time. After that little segment, we go back to the one at a time style firing, starting with Brap on Q12. Q13 is gonna be Savage. Q14 is Juggernaut. This is an angled cake. Then we come into Epic, and that one is on Q15. Now Q16, I've got Screamin' Mimi, so it's gonna whistle right before the finale. So when you hear the whistle cake, I think it's the only one in the batch, believe it or not. Once those whistles go, we know that the finale is signaling, which is God of War and Thunder Beast. I think Thunder Beast is the loudest one in the whole lineup, and this is definitely the coolest back and forth cake we have. And how that looks on here is 17 and 18 right there. We can see finale 1 and 2, so I'll be firing those at the exact same time. So now that I've shown you guys all the fireworks, the Ignite firing system, and how we hook them up, the only thing left to do is wait for the sun to go down. So I will see you guys at shoot time. All right, guys, here we go. We're gonna start with our opener, the Patriot and Willow Eruption. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my fireworks show. The show turned out great. Also, I just realized this is the last of the stuff I had from Pyro's Pride brand fireworks. I gotta say, I am really impressed with this brand in particular, and I will be getting more from them in the future. If you guys were interested in any of these cakes, I know half of them actually burned up already, but check the link in the description for that as well, and you can purchase these at fireworks.us. And guys, just real quick here before we end this video, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to hook up your Talon igniters the right way. So I hope you guys can see this, but there's this tiny little dip right here at the tip of the igniter. And then you'll notice right above that little dip, there is actually a wire exposed. And you want to make sure that when you're loading your fuses into the igniter, you're not doing something like this. So I'm going to take the fuse and try to show this to you on camera. You want to make sure you're not putting it in like that. What you're actually supposed to do is use it as a clip-on like this. And so when you clip that down, you will make sure that your fireworks are lighting. If you do it the other way, there's a good chance your firework will not go off. And I just wanted to bring that up before we end the video.